Greetings! Welcome back to Pink Oddbird. Today what I'm here with is my September Tsunami Rose design team project using her Halloween images and digital kit. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'll link to all of her information in the description box below, so if you want to check out her Etsy store and pick up any of these images that I've used, please do. She has super great prices on all of her stuff, so be sure to check her out. So let's take a look at the book. This time I did something a little bit different. It was a little bit of a challenge to put this together, but I had a vision in mind that I made up a little fictional story of the day that Halloween died. And so this coffin is Here Lies Halloween. So the thought is, even though Halloween may have died, which I hope it never does, it lives in here and the party still goes on and all the trick-or-treaters still come out and all the fun Halloween stuff that we love is still happening within. So what I've done is I built a little coffin cover and so basically, okay, it's covered in velvet. On the back, I don't think the camera will pick it up, but I swirled with this particular velvet. It sticks particularly where you put the glue. So what I did was I tried to do a big oval swirl to sort of mimic like a wood grain effect. I don't know that you'll be able to really see it on the camera, but it's there, and it's just chipboard underneath. I did a hidden spine so you can't feel the signatures stitching here. And on the front cover, you can't probably really tell, but I did put some batting in here so that it would have that like cushiony plush sort of domed top that you would typically see with a coffin. So this side is a little bit more plushy, and then this side is the chipboard side. And then on the cover, it's pretty simple because this is just like your standard, like old-fashioned coffin, and it's just got some little trim behind there, and then a little frame, and then I just stamped out Here Lies Halloween. So this is what it looks like. The challenging part was to get the pages. I did the best that I could, but the challenging part was getting the pages into the right shape to match the cover when it was going to be folded and all that. So it was fun though. I love this book, and this one is for all of you fellow Halloween lovers. All right, so opening up, there are 4 signatures in this book, and I think there's going to be a total of about 128 pages or so front and back. So right at the front, I use my new Tim Holtz Gothic stamps, and I love these so much. And so I won't tell you what I did. Well, maybe I will. I've never used foam letter stamps like this before. So when I was stamping out the word welcome, I put it on the acrylic block backwards. So it said Imokaloa. So I did it right the second time. And so it says welcome. So you're invited to the Halloween party that's happening down here. So I did something a little different with her images. I cut, since the way she designs these, I don't know if you can see, the lines are going through the image. And I thought that was perfect because I could cut out a lot of the excess on the page and get it down to a size that would actually fit and work in this book, because of its like unique shape. An actual like page, like even you can see here, this would have been like a small page in a regular book. I even had to just trim a little here, but being that there's lines on here, I could still use the image and you can still journal over that, and it's perfect. Okay, so again, these are all her images. I distressed along the crease just to add to like the little Halloween grunge. There are some coffee stained papers in here. Stamping. This is the old Halloween book page here. Because of the nature of this book, I couldn't add a lot of bulky items in here because there's no way that this book would have stayed closed, and I really wanted it to stay closed without having a closure on it and look, you know, proportionate how it should. So I had to really rely heavily on a lot of flat embellishments So you're gonna see like a lot of washi, a lot of stamps, and stickers were a popular thing at Michael's, so I picked up the stickers that matched this paper collection. So I was relying heavily on a lot of those types of things, so because of the nature of this book. So again, here's one of Daisy's images. I just cut it out, like fussy cut it. And again, with the black pages, as you know, you can write on these with gel pen, or you can collage over it with the different color paper and journal on top of that. The little Tim Holtz Dracula stamp down here. It can't be a true Monster Mash without the OG monsters. So here I just tore the page kind of like jaggedy, and then behind it I have this little ghost so that he's kind of like the tab, and it's just another little journaling card. So you can see just the tip of the ghost's head there. All of the washi tape in here is Tim Holtz. On this page, so what I have done is it's like a little collage. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's see. There you go. It's just a little collage, and so these are the Tim Holtz little Halloween pieces here, and then behind it I have this little skull that I decoupaged onto cardstock, and that tucks behind the tag here. Inside the bag I have this little, I tried to make a mock tombstone because of course we're in the Halloween graveyard now, and I just collaged some little bits on there, and then the little Tim Holtz Halloween clippings there, it says a melancholy friendship. And then the bag flips open and you can do some journaling here and maybe add like a photo or some kind of memento there. And then it's a magnet closure, so it'll stay closed. The centers of the signatures, I left those plain so that you can do whatever you want in there. I feel like the centers are like the best for, you know, your best layouts, I guess, if you will. There's just a little coffin, a little coffin shaped tag here, and I just again tore down Daisy's page and just made it a little journaling spot. Again, I did some decorative punching. Another image that I've torn to fit the page. And this little Tim Holtz piece is a tuck spot as well. We've got the little mummy there. So here I have a vintage book page underneath, and it killed me to cover it because it was bats, but I really wanted to have this big spider web over the top of it. So this is just decoupaged on here, and then I just distressed it, and then I just made these little slivers of a tuck spot. There's the little witch from Daisy's kit. And then here we have another coffin tag. There's yellow stitching in here, purple stitching, and I think maybe some like beige. So here I just made another little tombstone tag, and that's the little Tim Holtz skeleton there on the top. And I found some little ephemera for Happy Halloween, and I made some grass, and then I was like, oh, is the grass that green in the Halloween graveyard? Maybe not. So I tried to grunge it up a bit. And then some cute little Halloween pieces that I got from Monique at Steel Crafting. This page was kind of messed up on its own. Like, I don't know if you can see, but I thought it looked kind of neat because you can kind of see that through. Some more Tim Holtz pieces. That's actually a tuck spot down there. So here is another little collage pocket, and I have just collaged on napkin in the background, fabric, a piece of fabric lace, one of the Tim Holtz ancestors, a little frame, and this is pretty funny because I used the clipping that says watching and waiting, and then on the side a little clipping here it says, I don't believe I'll ever feel any creepier. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then just behind her is a little, one of these like vellum little see-through kind of tags that I just made a Hermelinda tag, and it's got skulls on there, and then I just placed a sticker in there so maybe you can stick down a photo here and do some little journaling there. Got the googly eyes. That's a Tim Holtz stamp wishing you a spooky Halloween. Another little vintage book page. So here in the center, I just fussy cut these little children out of Daisy's page, and it's one of those calendar pages, and I just cut around them and made them pocket in the center of the signature. And then these are the two little ephemera, little journaling cards that I placed in there. So here I made a stacked candy corn tag, and what I did was I tried to camouflage. I made little pockets, and so I made these two little tags to go in the pocket, and I just left them plain so that they would kind of be camouflaged, you know, in the, just like here, there's two little tags. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then there's just some ribbon that I got. Dollar Tree actually had some really good stuff. Pumpkin on that book page there, another Tim Holtz piece. This little guy, he can swing out, and then you can layer something behind him. So here, one of the little Tim Holtz clippy things, and then a little witchy tag. And then over here we have the Ghoul. He's one of the tarot cards from Michael's. And I just, again, cut around the page. So Miss Kim was kind enough to send me some of these little stacked tag thingies from the Tim Holtz die that she has. So I loaded it up with a bunch of different tags. So here we have one that says October 31st. Here is another with a spider web at the bottom. These are the little Tim Holtz witches, and I put them because they're on the witch page. And then the little Wicked tag there. And then there's another little one that says Hauntings. And this one, Toxic. And the final one here, Rochelle Salts. So those are all Tim Holtz ephemera except for the Haunting and the two tags. Then I just have one of the paper stickers that says Wicked, and then a little spider. So here is another collage tag, one of those little owls that I have, and then inside is just a decoupage napkin tag, and it says Haunted for Life. So that's the end of the second signature. Now into the third signature, I made another little tag. It says A Wicked Thing, and Kim had given me this like fringy trim, and I made a little makeshift broom. And there's just a little spider on there to keep the broom company. Little pumpkin sticker. I love these images, they're so vintagey. So here's another candy corn tag. This one isn't stacked or, you know, it doesn't have pockets. It's just a little journaling card that you can use. And I put it upside down because the shape of the book goes like this, so it was fitting weird when I put it right side up. So this little squad, I love them so much. They're out to trick or treat. Another little torn page. Vintage book page. And here's another one of those little see-through pieces of like vellum. I made a Hermelinda tag, and this one has like the trees, so I put those there with this guy. So these book pages, on this one it says the Goblin, and you can see the little guy is scared and he's like, go away. And on the opposite page of that was this, which is the Goblin, and so he's just like sitting there in the tree. And I just put washi tape on this because you can, I don't know, it tore kind of weird out of the book, but I wanted to have like the whole tree branch in there. But that is the Goblin that he's afraid of. Then we have a little stamp down there, and this little guy, he looks so shook. Center of the signature. Tim Holtz piece there. So here I have one of my little Polaroid paper clips. These are super awesome. And then behind it is one of Daisy's little kit pages. I just tore it to make it fit, but I love this little moon guy. And then here is another journaling card. I love this page with like all the moths on it. The tricksters, that's what that page says, and then that's their little squad. Look at it, it even has a little puppy there. Another candy corn tag. And the final signature. There's a little taggy tag here. And I have this little Tim Holtz ancestor. Here lies Barry D. Live. I'm assuming D stands for did. Another little coffin tag. This just flips out. You can glue it down if you want to make it a pocket though. A little witch. These pages, I should mention, they are glued onto the page. The washi that is on here is not really, it's just for looks. It's not really holding the page down. Another little Tim Holtz little clipping thingy there. Trick or treat. This little witch was a greeting card, and she can be moved around, and she's held on by a magnet by the little owl guy here. And so behind him I've just placed a little journaling card, so you just pop them just like that and they'll stay in place. So you can move that around or leave it where you want, leave it there. Another little flip out. There's my raven. Little creepy tree. So here I fussy cut her out, and that's from Daisy's kit as well. And then this was one of her pages. I just turned it into a large tag. And this is a little scrap that I had, and then this guy can swing out. And that's the number 31 for Halloween. There they all are, trick-or-treating. Then suddenly a strange thing happened. That's another of the Tim Holtz stamps. I use a lot of Tim Holtz in this book. So here is just a little pumpkin that I made into a belly band, but it's talking about the end of the night. We're stuffed with cake and candy and we've had a lot of fun, but now it's time to go to bed and dream of all we've done. We'll dream of ghosts and goblins and of the witches that we've seen, and we'll dream of trick-or-treating on this happy Halloween. And there's my stamp. So, I love this book. I should have made 2 of them, but I wouldn't have had time. But this one will be listed up in my Etsy shop, and because I had to really rely on the flat decorations for this, I wanted to include something to go along with it. So I have made one of my stuffed envelopes, but Halloween style, and this one will come along with the book. But I've also made 2 more that will go into my Etsy store. So let me show you quickly what's inside of one of these, because they're all mostly similar. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these. Like I said, they're all mostly similar, just a few little subtle differences, but I'll try and remember to point them out. All right, so this is what you're getting at a first glance, and this time I made my own envelopes out of the same paper stack that I used in the book. So let's take a look at what's in here. To start out, on the outside, you get 1 strand of the black wool here, and then you also will get a strand of the black eyelash trim. Additionally, the orange, like the burnt orange ribbon, is the trim that I've also included. These I think are really ideal if you have a Halloween book and you want to add stuff to it. If you want to make a Halloween book, I think I've put a good little array of things in here so you don't have to go break the bank on buying a bunch of Halloween stuff, when, you know, there's a good little variety in here for you to make a pretty decent book, in addition to stuff that you might already have. Or if you want to do a swap with one of these with someone, the pockets are big enough where you can slip in like a flat candy bar or their favorite candy, something like that. I thought that would be super cute. So there is the little, well, it's rhinestones, so they're black. There are orange, green, and gold rhinestones in here. So there's just a little flat back variety in there. And then I have also made the ruffles. They all have the same ruffles made out of the fabrics that you've seen throughout the book. All very Halloween related. So here in the front, they all have a different tarot card from the little collection that I have. And there are two, well, this one has two little fabric tags there in the front. There's this little piece here. I cut it because it was one long piece, but you can use this as like a belly band or tuck spot, but it's super cute. There's another large tag here. I backed them on black cardstock, so again, gel pen or photos, or collage other paper over it. By the way, thank you to everyone who has watched that stuffed envelope video. I appreciate all the comments on there. I still haven't responded to everyone yet, but I will. But thank you guys all so much for the sweet comments that you guys had on there. So on this one, the front pocket is this lace. It's like a spider web sheer lacy thing with purple glitter. So I made these little mummy tags and I think they're super cute, and they're just on black cardstock, but I couldn't find my cheesecloth, but I'm kind of glad that I couldn't, because I was going to use cheesecloth, but then I remembered I had a hunk of sari silk, so I made these little mummy taggies. Here is the longer piece of that little Halloween trim. And there's a couple more tags. I left the strings just to add to the, you know, the grungy Halloween kind of effect. I had a lot of weird cutoffs left over from cutting the pages down into a coffin shape, and so I couldn't get rid of them because as you can see, they are pretty substantial scraps. So I just decided to make these little scrappy tags, I guess, but I just tried to piece them all together, and because they were all kind of cut in the same shape, they all kind of fit together like a puzzle almost. So that was pretty fun. And then I also did the stamped and stitched tags, slightly different for Halloween. I stitched around the edge there, as you can see, and I have, well, I messed up on this one. It's just character, okay? But I embossed the Happy Halloween, so it's like in kind of a green color. And then these are, I did 3 charms on these just because I wanted to incorporate all of these different ones, but you can see there's a little candy corn, there's a little skull, and then the black and orange. There is a large coffin tag, and they'll all have some kind of stickers on the front of them. Here is another embossed, stamped and stitched, embossed style. You can see the color there, super pretty. And then just some purple trim up at the top. This one has a big old Frankenstein tag in there. And on the back, I used some of this very, very hard to use trim, black lace that I got from Jerry Ann. Thank you, Jerry Ann. It's so beautiful, and it killed me to use it, but I have a good amount left, so it was okay. This is just a little decoupaged tag, so it's just a napkin that I decoupage. You can use that as a tuck spot. There are some little doodads in here. They all will have like 5 different googly eyes in them, so you can use those as you wish. There's a little envelope in here, and I left the envelope open just in case you might not want to glue it down, but I also have used my little faux wax seals on here, and this one has a little cross and bones on it. The other two have the ravens on them, and some little tags of the scraps that I had. And then here I got this little ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and Priscilla, I saw her do this in my Beetlejuice book, but she made an envelope out of the ribbon and she stuck it down on the page. I've included the little ribbon envelope, and then inside of it I further used my scraps to make some little owl punch outs, so you have a good little amount of owl punch outs in there. I made a file folder out of the paper, so I didn't grunge up the file folders just in case maybe you don't want to. They all have this super delicate spider web in them. It's like a spider web, I don't know. I just picked these up and I thought they were cute, so very Halloween-y, and so I added those in here, one of those in here, and there's the little bat bag, so you have a little treat bag in there that you can use. They all have a vintage book page in them of animals that come out at nighttime, so this one has possums in it, and then there's a little puppy there, and then the page tells you a little about what they do when they come out at night. So, and this is what the envelope looks like. There's that lace that I'm telling you about. This is what it looks like when it's empty. And yeah, so this is everything that they will all come with. The only variations are like the Frankenstein, those are different. Like one of them has, the one that comes with the book is going to have a large crow that's decoupaged instead. And like the colors of the googly eyes, like these ones are mostly orange, I think. The book pages are obviously different. And the large image on this one is another little skull guy. So, yeah, so that's it. Woo! I know this video is long, everyone. I'm sorry, but I wanted to get all of this in one video and just bring it all to you at once, and so I can get this all done and post it up for you. So, thank you all for being here for this. Again, don't forget to check out Daisy's shop. I'll link to everything that you need to know down in the description box below. And that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.